Straight out the dungeon, a podcast where all these fake wrestling podcasts don't make it back. Yeah. I don't know how to start this shit. Hey, yo, Jesse,
What up?
begin.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to Ringside Renaissance, and we're here with the special RRW review for Money in the Bank. Yeah. And I'm here with pretty deadly Jesse.
Yeah!
Yeah. And I'm Andrew Combat Jones. Yeah. And we got a new nickname for pretty deadly Jesse because of last night's events that he prophesized. And that's Jestradamus.
Yowie wowie!
Yeah. It's the morning after Money in the Bank, and we had a lot of fun watching it. How you doing today, Jesse? What's up?
I'm good, man. You know, if you guys want to be surprised at watching wrestling events from now on, do not watch our show beforehand because I'm just going to tell you exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Don't look now, but Jestradamus was 5 for 5 with his predictions last night.
Yeah, that's true. I think I was like 3 for 5, something like that. Yeah,
You'll get
good
there.
enough.
You'll get there. Don't
Good
worry.
enough. Yeah. I have to listen to your wisdom.
Just like the Knicks, they're okay. You're okay, but not good enough. You know.
Yeah. There's always next year, as they say. Yeah. Paul Heyman says for you, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah, don't take what I say seriously. Please keep watching our videos and share, and subscribe if you like our content. Yeah, man, we have Money in the Bank. We just wanted to give you guys a special review of that to make sure we get it out on time so you guys hear what our thoughts are on it. We're just going to touch on Smackdown real quick. There's only a couple key points we wanted to touch on from this past Friday's Smackdown, the day before Money in the Bank, and there wasn't a whole lot of stuff of note, you know. It was kind of just like a go-home show like they normally have. Let's just start out.
It was a bit of a tease, but a disappointment, right?
Yeah, you know. Levesque, What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm a Levesque guy, but Pretty Deadly needs a big fucking win here. What are we doing? You know.
Right. Pretty Deadly returned to SmackDown for their first debut match in a while.
Yeah. And the thing, too, is, like, Pretty Deadly, all jokes aside, like, I think they're a really great heel tag team, and I think that they have a place in the tag division, which is a weak tag division, I believe, in the WWE right now.
Right.
And also later on down the line with what happened in the tag team title matchup, I think they need Pretty Deadly right now in the mix. But come on, Street Profits, they're old news. You know,
yeah, that's true. And they've been battling back and forth for years now, it seems like, Street Profits and Pretty Deadly, but maybe it's because, you know, Street Profits didn't have a match at Money in the Bank, and they were kind of had a chip on their shoulder about it because Montez Ford was on one in Toronto.
Yeah,
he was going off. Yeah.
So, you know, and it was a great match too. You know, like the Pretty Deadly did their heel stuff, little dastardly stuff. Like you said, the Street Profits really played the crowd up. Canadian crowd showed out. You know, it was a good match. It was back and forth. The cheap heat from the heels. They did that superplex off the shoulders, which I thought was fucking awesome. Except for it completely destroyed Kit Wilson's nuts. But you know, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a solid match. Like I said, I do not agree with the winner whatsoever. Pretty Deadly needed the dub here, but
I think they're going to be in it for now on. I think, hopefully,
to feature them on a go-home show like that in a tag match, Street Profits and Pretty Deadly, I think they're trying to build up those guys are going to be key members of the tag division moving forward.
Hopefully they're not just one of the few that could make it into Canada. We want to see more Pretty Deadly, Levesque. Come on, Trips. Yeah.
Bring it on. Bring it on. We need to start a We Want PD, hashtag We Want PD to no, it's police department. We want pretty deadly. That's a good hashtag.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen for the people. We had the yes movement. We had the Cody Crybaby movement. We need the pretty deadly movement.
Absolutely.
Give them the tag gold, Levesque.
Give them the gold. Those crop tops were looking real tight Friday night. Yeah.
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 So moving on from that, really the only other thing from note from
SmackDown
is that we had the tag team title match. We had A-Town Down Under against DIY. I mean, it was an okay match. Them going on about A-Town Down Under's like amazing title reign and stuff was kind of stupid to me. Like I don't feel like there was really much of a title reign, but
it's been pretty dumb since WrestleMania, since they got the titles. But just their dynamic of them, breaking up, I guess.
Right.
Of which is going to happen, hopefully. We'll see. But and their turmoil between the two.
Yeah, and it was it further dove into that when they went to do a super kick on Grayson Waller, and he pulled Austin Theory in the way to take the move, and I don't know, it was okay, like you said, planting the seeds for a breakup and maybe a feud, just have a babyface Austin Theory, which I don't know how successful that'll be, but
Grayson Waller definitely seems like he's trying to play the heel out of the two.
I think I read somewhere that there was supposed to be testing the waters on an Austin Theory babyface run. So we'll see. And it ended up happening. Gargano got the submission on Grayson Waller. He went to tap out, and Austin Theory ran in and stopped his hand from tapping out. When Ciampa put a submission on him, and we got the tap. We got new World Tag Team Champions. DIY. Dicks.
Dicks.
And the DIX, the Dicks won the Tag Team Championships, and to a massive pop.
Yeah.
Like, I was very surprised from the pop from the fans. It doesn't seem like they're very over on a week-to-week basis, but man, oh man, when they won the titles Friday night, they got a massive pop.
Yeah, they built them up too over these seems like the last month or two now to get these titles, and that storyline that they've continued. So new tag team champions, DIX. I mean, why?
Dixie.
Dicks.
They're just placeholders until Pretty Deadly comes and fucking snatches those gold and straps them around their lustrous waists.
Yeah.
So that was Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home show for Money in the Bank, and we're going to move right into Money in the Bank because that's what you are all here for. And, we're going to do the Money in the Bank review right now. Just overall, before we get into the matches, what did you think overall of the event, of the 7 o'clock start time? What did you think overall?
Overall, I loved it. I thought it was great. WWE has been on a huge roll since at least WrestleMania now. Every event I've liked so far from it.
Yeah.
Probably Backlash is like the one that I wasn't, that's probably the least out of all of them. But regardless of that, I freaking loved it. I thought it was great. There was a couple spots here and there that were like, but overall, I had a great time. Very entertained. I don't know what all the hate's about. What about you?
Yeah, I think when I watch an event, and I've mentioned it before, like if it's flowing really well and it's going, I can generally base if I'm enjoying it or not. If like we get to the last match and I'm like, oh shit, we're on the last match already. Like if it ever gets to that point, where I'm looking at my phone like, oh my God, when's this going to end? I realize I'm not really having a good time with it, but I enjoyed it. We had a good time watching it. Like you said, there was a couple botches and spots. Like, listen, man, like if anybody's sitting there critiquing and crying about botches and stuff, if you've never messed up on your job or put bleach in with your color clothes and fucking bleached them one time in your life, like all power to you, because people mess up in life. Like shit happens. Like, does it suck? Yeah. Do we want to be entertained and have clean fucking spots and finishes all the time? Of course. But like, this is just the reality of it. And guess what? When I'm working my full-time job, I don't have fucking 30 cameras and 50 million people watching me.
Right.
So, you know what? I screw up at work, but you know what? I don't have everybody and all the eyes on me watching and stuff, and I'm able to get away with it. So I try to cut them a little bit of slack as far as that goes.
Yeah, and think about sports. Do you see a freaking basket go in every time or a goal every time? Or a touchdown pass every time? No. So, come on.
That was a great comparison, man. I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the first match of the night, they started out hot. They had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. They had Drew McIntyre. They had LA Knight, Jey Uso, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes.
And Chad Gable.
That's the one I was missing. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Multi-man or multi-team, multi-whatever ladder matches kind of bug me. And we talked about this during the event. Like, everybody laying outside the ring while two people are doing spots in the ring. And then they roll out and two more people come in and do their spot and roll out. But that's every ladder match.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, like, going back to the WrestleMania tag team ladder match because I thought that was very underwhelming. But this one blew me away. I thought it was freaking great. Like, Andrade, Carmelo, like, really showed out. Like, and Carmelo, we know, like, he's very great. Carmelo Hayes' athleticism is crazy. And we've seen it this far, but we haven't really seen it much in like these like ladder, table, like hardcore type of matches in a way. And for him to be able to do it in that type of environment and match, I thought was awesome. And that was my original pick because I thought maybe they would kind of go unconventional and like unpredictable with like a heel sort of. So that's why I picked him. But he really showed out, and Andrade was freaking awesome too.
Yeah, he was so good. I mean, like you had said when he qualified, like they needed kind of like a high flyer, a couple high flyers in this match and stuff. And there was the one spot where like, was it Carmelo was hanging off the ladder and Andrade did the springboard leg drop?
Yeah, the leg drop.
And like, and he landed almost on top of it. Like, it just, I don't know. There was a lot of really cool spots in it. And something that I was very appreciative and like, I guess happy to see. They didn't overdo the weapons. Like, they used the ladders and they implemented the ladders because it's a ladder match. But we didn't have 50 tables. We didn't have 10 chairs. We didn't have a partridge in a pear tree. You know, all this shit. Like, it was strictly a ladder match. And like, that's so refreshing to see because as soon as a ladder match happened, like 5 minutes into the match, the crowd started chanting, "We want tables." It's like, it's a fucking ladder match, man. Like, like let them work. Like, let these guys work and tell a story. It's a ladder match. The ladders are supposed to be implemented. And like, that I really appreciated that they kept the foreign objects to a minimum and just kept it a ladder match. You know?
It was cool. It's like, we don't have any tables. We only brought ladders. No,
Home Depot was closed.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking Andrade hit that Spanish fly like off the second rope or whatever it was. Jumped off the second rope, did like the backflip onto the ladder with freaking Mello. Like, freaking awesome, man.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of cool ladder spots with it, like that back neck breaker on it and shit. Like, woo.
Yeah. And the big guys did well too. Like Drew, like really like held his own in the match because usually a lot of ladder matches, people want to see the high flyers do high flying shit, you know. But
right.
I think this kind of held its own. Jey Uso and LA Knight really looked good in this match too. You know, LA Knight was in the Money in the Bank last year. He's got a little experience, but a lot of people give Jey Uso a lot of shit for only knowing 5 moves and being all personality. But I think he held his own in this match. I thought he looked pretty good and.
He held his own, and he set the tone when he came out, too, with, like, his entrance. Like, Toronto was going crazy. And then, like, going back to how he wasn't allowed to, like, get in Canada, I believe, like, last year or, you know, in the past. And now he's in, too, so they were going crazy being able to see him and, you know, him thanking the crowd for being able to be there, too, leading up to that and stuff. It was cool. Yeah.
Drew said something, was on Smackdown or whatever the night before and said, "I'm surprised they even allowed you in the country," or something.
I don't even know why they let you in here or something. Yeah.
So they played into that a little bit, but so overall I thought it was really good, and they kind of left me guessing a little bit. I started second guessing myself throughout the match who was actually going to win. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Me too. I wasn't. I had no idea how it was gonna go. Like your prediction rang true, your prophecy. But I think everybody freaking assumed and thought that some type of Wyatt Six Uncle Howdy shit was gonna happen to Chad Gable, and nothing. Not even a QR code or glitch that I know of. Yeah, that I saw. If you saw something, let us know in the comments. But don't be making something out of nothing either.
Another thing too is like people in the IWC were fucking going nuts about there was no Wyatt 6-6 here, and there was no fucking interference. Logan Paul didn't come out and cost.
Yeah, that too.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that were like, just whatever, had their own little thoughts about it. I'm glad they kept it clean.
Right.
I'm glad that they kept in the women's match too. They didn't have a bunch of outside interference and stuff like that. That's the cheap way out. And like,
true.
Everybody was expecting that, so they didn't give that to you. And like, I appreciated that. You know what I mean? And it was like, okay,
it was unexpected, and it was cool, man. Freaking Chad Gable was up on that briefcase, hanging on the briefcase. They pulled the ladder away. When Jey Uso brought the ladder back to the corner, I almost thought he was going to climb the ladder and spear.
Oh, like Chad did?
Thought for sure it was about to happen, that he was going to climb the ladder and spear Chad Gable off of the briefcase.
Yeah. But he took a fucking face plant, bro. Like, he landed so hard.
Yeah. Like, it was crazy. Chad keeps getting the raw end of the stick, huh? Get banged out on fucking by the Wyatt Six, and now he's falling from the sky from the briefcase. Like,
the world's just falling apart for Chad Gable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to mention that at the end of our review for this, but like, I'm really appreciative that they didn't have every time Chad Gable climbed up the ladder, I'm like, here comes the fucking Wyatt 6-6.
I thought the light was going to go off at that last time he climbed it, or we're going to hear that doom, 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 doom sound. Yeah.
And then LA Knight climbed at one point, and like they had a close up on him, like up towards the briefcase, and I'm like, here comes Logan Paul, and
Yep.
But no, there was none of that. It was very
Yep.
It was very clean as far as ladder matches go. And then at the end, we had Jey Uso up at the top, and he
undoing
looked like undoing it,
like
very strategically done to swerve people.
Yeah.
And they had the close up on him, and they backed out. And Drew McIntyre was there with a ladder, and he threw it up and hit Jey in the chest abdominal area.
He freaking chucked that ladder at his face, man. Like,
jacked him.
Woo!
Jacked him.
Yeah. Like a freaking spiral football. Like, pop. Yeah. Like a spear. Yeah. God damn.
And Drew and the Scottish Warrior climbed the ladder. That's an Irish fucking accent.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So the Scottish Warrior climbed the ladder, unhooked the briefcase, and we had Mr. Money in the Bank, Drew McIntyre. And who could have predicted that?
Yeah. Good win by Drew. That was a good win. Very, very exciting match. Really enjoyed it. I think they did the right thing in the end, despite what people want to say.
Yeah. I really knew the Wyatt 6-6 wasn't going to interfere. Like, I just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Nothing they do makes sense, so who knows?
Nothing they do makes sense.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our Raw review for us to tear that apart. But
right.
Next up, we had the IC title match. Man, we have Braun Breaker versus the champion Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn comes out to a huge pop. Obviously, the Canadian hero in this. Braun Breaker looked like a fucking megastar coming out.
Hell yeah.
They changed his music again. People were complaining about that. I don't think about that shit as much as other people. Like,
I didn't notice it because like he hasn't been there so long that like you so used to hearing his music. I do know his last one, and it wasn't too bad, and I don't think that this new one was as good. I thought the last one made you bob your head a little bit more to it. That's what I look for in like an entrance music, something that makes you want to actually move and bob your head to it rather than some bullshit, right?
Right.
Or get you hype or something like that. So yeah, but whatever. Maybe it'll grow on me. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it. Like I said, and people were like, "Oh," they said, "Oh, how am I going to go on with this serious face, Jesse?" But yeah, I saw people complaining about it online. I don't fucking pay attention to too much of that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Braun Breaker could come out to the fucking stupid ass Wyatt 6 piano and fucking he would still look menacing and intimidating. No offense, Wyatt 6 fans, but
yeah, probably more so. Yeah.
But yeah, and he just looks like a fucking megastar, bro. He's jacked. He looks good. He has the attire looks cool, kind of like a homage to his dad and his uncle and stuff with the singlet and stuff. And his facial like expressions are just really well done. Yeah, I really think he's a megastar. Sami Zayn came out to a monster pop. This was just like a big fight feel. Like this just had a big fight feel to it.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker just fucking destroyed Sammy for a lot of the match. Sammy got a lot of offense in though, so
yeah.
There was a lot of back and forth. He almost got more offense in against Braun Breaker than he did against Gunther, you know. So
for sure, yeah, definitely. And he just had came off having his comedy show, I think the night before or something like that in Toronto. So he looked spent afterwards too.
Yeah,
but yeah, what a match, man! Hard hitting too. Like they were going back and forth. Braun is like definitely took it to a new level, and he's like on his grown man shit now from coming over from NXT. Like he's come to his own. He looks like comfortable now. Like he like knows he deserves to be there and not like nervous or out of place, you know, being like the new guy. So whoosh, he's back. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I think, you know, at one point Sammy was getting a lot of offense in, and I had messaged you and I said, Braun Breaker's going to win this one. Like Sammy's getting way too much offense, but I thought it was going to be a complete beatdown for 15 minutes and Sammy just pull a win out of his ass, but that's not what we got. You know?
Yeah, and they played it back a little bit, like on the outside, like when Braun going around to do the spear in front of the stairs when Sammy had leapfrogged and sent Braun into the stairs. Like Braun like thought he was going to do it already and kind of reversed it, and he got up on the ropes or whatever and leaped off on Sammy onto the table. Yeah, that was cool. Like Braun was on one too, man. Like
it was really good. I mean, he's so athletic, man. That the hands-free Frankensteiner he does off the top rope and stuff. Just,
to watch like when he runs the ropes and like the ring moves back and forth, like it freaking shifts.
Yeah,
impressive. Yeah,
he's gonna be a world champion. I mean, there's no doubt one day he's going to be the top guy. And
he's got it all, man.
You know, and I saw a lot of people at the end, he what was he tried to hit a spear on Sammy, but Sammy kicked him and he fell back in the corner and fell into a haluva kick. And 1, 2, 3, Sammy a clean win over Braun Breaker. That's what surprised me.
Right.
We both predicted Sammy was going to win, but I thought like Sheamus was going to come out, or Ludwig Kaiser, because they've been kind of teasing like that 4-way rivalry going on. But
or we thought like a quick kind of roll up for Sammy. Yeah, to kind of steal the win. But he didn't have to, man. He used that wisdom and shit. So it's
Yep. And, like I said, Sami Zayn wins, he retains the IC title. And a lot of people are saying, they're burying Braun Breaker. But this...
No, not at all.
They could use this as, okay, Braun wasn't as focused. He's young. He's still green. He's not focused on the task at hand. He kind of took his eye off the ball a little bit. Now he's going to come back even more menacing and more laser focused and more of a fucking terror, Yeah,
he just needs more of that experience, and that's what Sammy had. And after the match, Sammy did like an interview, and he's like, I don't know what I have to keep doing. Like, I beat Gunther, I beat Braun, I beat all these big people. I don't know what I have to keep doing to convince people that I'm hungry and I can still get it. Like, and so it was awesome all together. A great match and great rivalry too.
Yeah, and then Braun Breaker after the match, like with his arms over his knees against the barricade, and just like you could see in his face like just fury happening. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you got me this time, but this ain't gonna happen again. Type shit. And,
definitely. Yeah, like he blew his moment for a second. Yeah.
So it's just planting seeds moving down the line. I think that we both predicted Sammy was gonna win. So you know what? Fuck you, all the haters. But
Braun didn't need to win
match
yet.
Overall.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. No, exactly. And a lot of these people say, they're not pushing new talent. They're fucking. Look at all the new talent that was in like key matches in this event. Like,
and it didn't kill Braun Breaker's momentum at all. Like, this is just going to make when he wins, like at SummerSlam or whatever, that IC title even bigger and even more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Come
gonna
on.
It's going to be dominant when he comes back and has a rematch and he's focused and just completely dominates and destroys Sami Zayn. And like, look at you now. I fucking came, it's going to make it mean much more.
Yeah, it might even play more into like this Rocky story with like Sami Zayn too, like coming back after that and then getting squashed when you think he's like being more dominant. Like, yeah.
So yeah, after that match, we had before we got into the next match, we had John Cena come out to the ring and
Trish
announcing his retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, Trish Stratus came out. Yep, she was the hostess of Money in the Bank. She announced John Cena, and he came out and announced his retirement. I thought he was retiring last night.
Me too. I was like,
the way he was saying it, I was like, oh, like wow, this is powerful, And then when he broke it down a little bit and said that like Royal Rumble next year is going to be his last Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania is going to be his last WrestleMania, like I was like, okay, well at least we can see a couple. It's funny, everybody shits on John Cena till they think that he's done, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, Cena's done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he announced his retirement farewell tour, pretty much, I guess you could say. So yeah, everybody shits over John Cena until it's time for him to actually not come back. And I got a little choked up for a second too. Like the way he put that promo on too, like it was believable. It was great. You could tell he really meant it. And he's just so humble and genuine now, especially now too. Like honestly, I couldn't really stand John Cena like at the beginning of his career and when like he was really over and stuff. But I've really come to love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and respect him and admire him and everything about him. Yeah, that's awesome.
What I was going to say. The respect is there. And I wasn't a John Cena fan when he was a full-time wrestler and had all those title runs and everything else. It was kind of whatever, but it's the same thing with like going into pro sports with like a Tom Brady or Michael Jordan or things like that.
Kobe Bryant,
Kobe Bryant, yes. And it's those sort of things where you don't appreciate it until it's gone. Then it's like, oh wow, we watched some greatness, man. And John Cena carried WWE through some like down times, you know. And after the Monday Night Wars ended and WWE was like the top company for a while and got really stale for a while, John Cena was the leader through all of that, and
he really brought back that young audience too, and helped it get to that new era with that online era too, WWE Network and all that stuff, man. Like,
So, but I was glad he clarified it and said there was going to be a few more matches and he was going to be at WrestleMania and
I got a lot of anticipation for it, man. I think it's going to be a great year with him. He's going to have some like dream matches and stuff, and he's just so good when he comes back now because like the comedy is there, like his acting is just like on another level now, and like I said, it's just so genuine, seems so real too when he does it. It's just I just love it.
And the whole thing too is like now we can build to like, okay, now we know next year's WrestleMania is gonna be his last WrestleMania, so we can appreciate it. We can
give him his flowers while he's here. Yeah.
Right. And we can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's gonna be so special when he that WrestleMania and to see what he does leading up to it with Triple H and everybody. Like, oh, I got so many ideas of what could happen. It's cool.
Yeah. And not to dwell on it before we move forward, just one final thought. Who would you want or who do you think is going to be his final match?
Well, I feel like CM Punk would be great, but I don't think it should be his final match at necessarily WrestleMania. A lot of people are saying like Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Maybe. And
that's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense. I can totally see that. And that'd be great for Randy Orton too. A great moment. So I guess Randy Orton, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because they came up in the company together and they were
same time. Yeah.
Right. And they were the new generations like Rock and Stone Cold. You know, like those two always back and forth with each other, being a thorn in each other's sides constantly,
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait and see. But next up we had the World Heavyweight title match with Damien Priest, the champion, against Seth Rollins. If Damien Priest lost, he had to leave the Judgment Day. And if Seth Rollins lost, he couldn't challenge for the title as long as Priest holds it. They had
Right.
that little backstage thing with the clubhouse and
Yeah.
them trying to make it look like Finn Balor is fucking evil. And
yeah, Finn, like, when Damien walked off, Finn, like, had said something like, yeah, okay. Like, I thought we were going to get some interference from Finn or something. And nothing.
Yeah,
We didn't,
nothing.
you know, I'll bring it up real quick, but there was nothing even from Liv Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing at all. That's a great thing.
Bailey either, for the women's champion either, you know, either women's champions. But
that was a shame there wasn't. I mean, they had the women's Money in the Bank, but they didn't have a women's match. That was kind of a shame. I was thinking the same thing. Like, not Liv, because I can't stand Liv, but like let Bailey have a match on the PLE or something. Like, every part of Bailey's title reign, she just gets beaten down. Like every time we see her now, she just gets beat up. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of annoying, but yeah, Finn looked like he's gonna do some snake shit. That motherfucker, but didn't happen.
Swerving you.
They were just playing video games in the clubhouse, like some little rascals.
Right.
And they sent Damien out to be by himself, like he wanted. He wanted to stand on his own, and
for what this was a pretty good match. I thought that Seth Rollins looked really good. You said he looked kind of slow in the ring.
Yeah, I thought his leg looked like a little messed up, but he still was like doing like all those extra flips, like he did like the lion salt off the flip off the rope and shit. So maybe not, but he was wearing like that different black boot or something. So
so one leg.
I was wondering if maybe, but it is like his first real like match back. So who knows? But he looked good though. I can't complain. He looked like he got a little bigger too. Like he was a little more bulked up. I feel like too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you know you could tell he's been working out and stuff. Damien Priest looked really good. I can't stand his ring attire. His ring attire looks like fucking he belongs in like 1995 gimmick WWF. Like I'm just I don't know.
Life.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he should have more of a biker look, maybe jeans and like biker boots or something, because they try to go for that kind of look. But
yeah,
I thought he held his own. Seth Rollins could have a good match with a wet towel and fucking make people interested in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Seth's one of those guys too. Like you're not gonna appreciate him until he's gone. You gotta appreciate him now. You can't take him for granted because he's so good. He just puts on a great match every freaking time. Like high energy, like charisma. Seth has it all, obviously. Whew, great match though too.
Yep. And it was like it was back and forth. Like you had said that Seth was looking slow, and then right after he does like that springboard. Fucking, you know what I mean? I was like, God,
maybe he just wasn't sure, so he was trying to take it easy, kind of, because he didn't quite know how he was gonna react. And as soon as I said it, went off. Yeah.
So then we get that. All right, we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room here.
Yeah. So they go to superplex off the top rope.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turns into a reverse, and then Seth hits the Falcon Arrow on Damien Priest. And we get like a 3 count, it looked like, which was very confusing. I did see a video this morning, like a close-up of the Falcon Arrow, and to see like Damien Priest's reaction, it almost looked like he got knocked out for a second. I don't know if that's true or if he was just selling it good and he kind of didn't even register or realize what was going on, and that's why he didn't kick out. It's possible. Yeah. That's kind of what some of the IWC is saying, but I'm not totally sure or sold on that. But who knows? It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's people saying that Drew's music wasn't cued right, but
supposed to hit at 2 maybe.
Yeah, but if Drew's music was supposed to hit at 2, why would Seth stop pinning him? Like, that doesn't make sense.
No,
like,
why would he kick out right then too? Just because he heard the music too, or
I don't know.
I don't know if it's on the ref, because in the post show we seen Triple H kind of mention how he's gonna have a conversation with the ref about it too. But he also said that everybody's human and makes mistakes, so who knows? Like, let us know in the comments. Look at the close-up video of the Falcon Arrow and then the pin, and it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Like I had said to you, like I saw the Falcon Arrow.
Yeah.
I saw the pin, and in my head, I'm thinking this isn't the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, same.
So when I saw the pin start, I just looked at my phone real quick, and when I looked at my phone, then like I was like looking at the screen. I heard like the crowd kind of react to it, and like
I seen them hit the 3. I'm like,
then Drew McIntyre's music started playing.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck, because I wasn't looking directly at the screen when the botch happened.
gotcha.
So
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is all this? But yeah, then after that, shortly after,
Yeah.
we got Drew McIntyre's music playing.
And at least his music played right after, because it kind of made me forget about what had just happened with the botch or whatever we're gonna call it. Yeah. And most people forgot until afterwards, and they went back and revisited it, of course. But yeah, Drew McIntyre's music, and he marches out to the ring and cashes in that Money in the Bank with the referee to make it a triple threat match. Ooh.
Who could have ever predicted that?
Yeah, Jestradamus, baby. Yeah. and it was good too. Like, it wasn't just like a quick little kick too. Like, the way that the dynamic of the situation occurred and it unraveled and stuff, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Because they kind of played it out and let it brew a little bit with Drew. Like, he didn't just go straight for the Claymore or this or that. Like, there was some reverses and throwouts of the ring and stuff until we got some special shit. But
they could play it, they could mix it into the story a little bit that Drew thought Seth won, that's why he ran out and cashed in, and he didn't want it to be a triple threat. He thought Seth won, that's why he ran out. So they could probably do something like that. They could twist it a little bit to try to legitimize it a little bit. But I like that. It wasn't just like, he cashes in, Claymore 1, 2, 3,
and then interference. Exactly. Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, it left you guessing. Like, is he about to really just get it, or is this triple threat going to go on for another 10 minutes between the three of them? Maybe.
Yep.
And
at one point, Drew beat up Seth Rollins, and he backed up into the corner to hit the Claymore, and they were just close up on his face. And I kept saying, this is where Punk's coming, because remember after WrestleMania, they had the Fatal 4-Way, and Punk grabbed his leg right in that same corner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's Punk's corner. That's where it's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. And I'm just like watching back and forth until you heard the crowd start to pop a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Then I was like, oh, shit.
Here he comes. Yep.
And we got the best in the world.
Take it away.
CM Punk comes in the ring and ties up with Drew McIntyre and just goes at him, goes off on him. Fucking punches him in the face and the back of the head, throws him outside of the frickin' ring, hurls him over the fucking barricade, the barrier. Yeah. Frickin' takes the mic cord, the camera cords or whatever, wraps it around his neck, rings him out, chokes the shit out of him with the frickin' crazy grin on his face. It was so good. He was just going off, getting the revenge, and like the crowd was going fucking wild too. Drew's laying there choked out on the floor. He's not done. Punk picks up the fucking chair, unloads with some beast chair shots, savage on him, like, and then he's still not done. Drew then tries to get back up after a bit and get back in the ring. Punk grabs a fucking world title belt, looks at it, stares at it for a little bit. Woo! Gets up on the ring and fucking lays Drew out with the title belt. Yeah.
Poetic. Very poetic.
Yeah. So good. Like, it was a great moment altogether. And then throws Drew in the ring, stands back up on the table, sits on the outside announcer's table, right? Yep. Drew walks into the South of Heaven chokeslam by Damien Priest, and Damien Priest gets the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and mine was fucking blown. And Punk was just sitting there on the table with the championship too, chilling. I think was it Corey Graves or Michael Cole asked him what he was doing at one point, and he's like, "Mind your business," or "Leave me alone," or so. What'd you think of the moment and all that, and how it all transpired and played out?
Yeah, I mean, how could I top your review of that, man? I was gonna say, man, You needed a new box of tissues after that was done.
Yeah,
huh?
I blew my load. Yeah, I'm spent. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
we joke around about me predicting it and stuff like that. It was better because it wasn't just Punk coming in, hitting him with a chair, doing the GTS,
Right.
and getting out. Like, he completely destroyed Drew McIntyre. Like, that was revenge. He wanted to get revenge, and like he got revenge. And
he had the crazy eyes too when he was choking him out with the cord. Like there was some great images from the whole moment too, for sure, that will live on throughout history for the rivalry and the beef between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, which has been epic, one of the best in a while too.
Right,
for sure.
To continue this rivalry as like being a blood feud and not just like, oh, we're just gonna have a match at SummerSlam. Like, stuff like this is needed. Like, CM Punk wasn't just out there just to screw Drew McIntyre over. He was out there to fucking hurt Drew McIntyre. Like,
revenge.
It wasn't just like, haha, I'm playing games with you, I'm gonna screw you out of another title opportunity. Like, I'm here to fucking hurt you. And it made it believable. And like I said, poetic. With the way, like, he threw Drew back in the ring and just stared at the fucking title, and he was thinking to himself, like, this is what Drew's been going for. And I'm gonna make sure this is the reason why he doesn't win it.
And like he said, as long as he's there, he's not gonna get anything nice. He's not gonna allow him to win anything. So it all played into it. So good. And Drew didn't come out with the bracelet either. So that's that we got more to go with the story, and I sense another beatdown coming to Punk from Drew McIntyre. Like, this is gonna go back. Like, you thought Drew was mad before getting screwed over. Like, how about now? Like, that's got to be the shortest failed cash in WWE history for sure.
And people on the internet that are like complaining about, oh, it was a waste of a Money in the Bank or something like that. Either we get a Money in the Bank cash in the same night, or somebody holds it for a fucking year. This is just something different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this hasn't been done before. Like, they cashed in the same night, but people that have cashed in the same night have won the title. This is just something different. It's not the same shit we see every fucking year with the Money in the Bank. So, like, they cry that everything's the same, then they cry that something different happens. Like, Jey Uso's still over. LA Knight's still over. Carmelo Hayes is still fucking on the up and up. This the title, the Money in the Bank match didn't hurt him. Andrade showed out and probably upped his stock in that match, even though he didn't win.
Oh, for sure.
Chad Gable as well. Chad Gable in the Money in the Bank match really upped his stock and like really showed out in that match. There was nobody that left the Money in the Bank ladder match worse off than they did going into it.
Absolutely.
The Money in the Bank briefcase to me is just the scenery, and it was just the scenery pushing the narrative of Punk and Drew moving forward. That's all. Who cares? We don't have somebody walking around with a briefcase for the next 9 months saying they're going to cash it in. Like, it's just new. It's different.
And it leaves loopholes for the story too, for like that Money in the Bank. Like, people want somebody to have it, but then they have to add more story with that briefcase if so. And like, you ran through all the names. Do it again. Jey Uso. It would have been cool to see him win. Why did he need to win? He's going to join that Bloodline story soon now. He doesn't need the briefcase. He doesn't need the championship. Andrade, we knew he wasn't going to win it, okay? He's great, but he's not going to win the briefcase. He's not going to go for the title. Chad Gable, come on. We knew he wasn't going to win it either.
And he's with the Wyatt Six right now. That's his whole
thing. That's why I went with Melo, because I was like, okay, he's not really in with anything else. Maybe he could get it, but it is what it is. He was great in the fucking match. LA Knight, he's got Logan Paul. He's got the USA Championship. What else do you want? Who do you want to have it, and for what reason? Like, come on.
Right. Let us know in the comments who you think should have won and why it would have pushed their narrative forward. There was nobody else in this match that winning the title, like you said, maybe a Carmelo Hayes or something. But there's nobody else in this match that they needed that briefcase to push their stories and their characters moving forward.
And they already have different stories planned out, obviously, with the championships, that they don't need this briefcase muddying the waters with it. right? They got the women's one still, so it is what it is. And that briefcase meant more to Drew losing it than having somebody else win it for the story.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yes.
Simple as that.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It crushed Drew McIntyre, man.
Yeah.
And
after Punk screwed Drew out of it, they kind of had this stare down, and Seth was fucking pissed at Punk too.
Planting the seeds for a future rivalry with Punk and Seth.
Yeah, yeah. Corey Graves had to hold Seth Rollins back and get in the way, and Punk was just sitting there egging him on, like, so good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I appreciated it, and it wasn't, you know, I like you had said, like I had said, like this was going to happen, and you know, is there different things that could have happened, and I would have been happy with it, sure, but for what this was moving forward, and to keep the Judgment Day story still going, and to keep Seth, his obsession with that title, and now like altering that towards his obsession towards Punk,
right?
There's a lot of stories being told here that if you look beyond the, let's be honest, okay, people are just pissed off because the person they wanted to win didn't win the fucking Money in the Bank. They don't care about other stories moving forward. They're a big Jey Uso fan. They're a big LA Knight. I'm a big LA Knight fan. We're
not saying they didn't deserve to win it, or we didn't want to see them win it, but it just doesn't make sense going forward with the stories. And
if the person you want to win doesn't win, you're going to throw a whole fit about it, then just don't. Like I said before, why would you want to watch wrestling if you knew exactly what was going to happen, or exactly what you wanted to happen is what happens all the time? You know?
Yeah, could see him. Punk came out and grabbed the fucking briefcase and won the Money in the Bank for the third time. Now I'm going to go off on the IWC because I didn't get my way. Come on.
I thought Pat McAfee was going to come out and replace Chad Gable. And whatever.
Yeah.
So that was the end of the World Heavyweight title match. Damien Priest, like you said, hit the South of Heaven on Drew McIntyre after he recovered from his concussion and retains the World Heavyweight title. This is the only part of my prediction I got wrong.
Right.
Is they still said Seth lost, so he can't go for the title anymore while Drew has it. So
yeah, maybe Damien has
because
it,
of how it was worded.
Right.
Because he said if I don't win, I can't challenge. He didn't say if I lose. He said if I don't win. So
maybe he can kind of challenge that argument to Damien Priest. And Damien walking off too. Like he had that look on his face, like he won, but he didn't look like he won because
he looked like he was knocked out.
Yeah, he looked like he was knocked out. But when he walked off with the championship, and he was looking at Punk like way down the aisle, he's like, "Fuck! Every time I've won this now, I haven't run it myself. Like, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I think he's like conflicted and yeah.
Well, he's gonna get that, he's gonna get that hotel room key and
that's true.
Go be consoled by Liv later, and it'll be
till SummerSlam. Till SummerSlam, then it's all gonna end. But
moving on, going on to the next Money in the Bank match. It was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Boy, oh boy, let me see if I can rattle this off real quick. We had Naomi.
Yep.
We had Tiffany Stratton. We had Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And Zoe Stark.
Hell yeah. And Naomi came out to a great entrance. The crowd was going freaking wild. The crowd was crazy for Tiffany Stratton when she came out. And Chelsea Green. Cha-ching. Chelsea Green. The crowd has really gotten behind her too, I've noticed. And
she's Canadian and it was in Toronto.
That's true, yeah. And just like the IWC too, like a lot of people wanted Chelsea Green to win.
Zoe Stark looked like a fucking star here too, like just the way she came out.
Yeah,
I love her stoic, just like no nonsense. Like she has all the makings. I don't understand the hate for Zoe Stark. I really don't. I really like her work.
Yeah, Zoe Stark was looking crazy, looking powerful. Like she's good. Can't deny it. Besides, like, she had that flip from outside the ring that she kind of missed completely. There was some few botches. Like, I think the match started out kind of rough, but then I thought it got better and better towards the end.
But like you said, though, going back to it, even Lyra Valkyria really looked really good in this.
Yeah, for sure.
And All of them looked good,
Yeah.
you know, and like you had mentioned with the entrances, like
Io
the
Sky
crowd
was
really,
good entrance.
yes,
Like,
yes,
yeah,
the crowd really built this match up as like, you know, a lot of women's matches, some fans kind of just like are like, yeah, and
Mhm.
like, you know, they kind of check out with it, or they call it the bathroom break match or whatever.
Right.
But the crowd really hyped this up like a big time, like these were all big
Yeah.
time
High stakes.
performers, and
Yeah.
yes, and this was
Yeah.
a big time match, and like it felt like it. And like you said, there might have been a little nerves, but I think when they settled in and started really working the match, I think this really outperformed what I thought it was going to do, you know.
Yeah, there was some hard spots and bumps through the freaking ladders too, man. Like I was
God.
impressed. Woo! And they were setting up the ladders everywhere. Naomi went and got the tables too.
Yeah.
Then Chelsea Green and who set them up?
Yeah,
with?
Naomi done
yeah.
hit her fucking head off a ladder at one point. I said, "Oh, she's done." I saw her, like the ladder was laying down in the ring, and she got slammed and hit the back of her head off the ladder. And I said,
Yeah,
"Oh God,
Tiffany
she's
Stratton
done."
got the freaking ladder to the face too from like,
Oof.
oh man, like impressive.
It was.
Yeah.
They didn't hold out. They definitely showed out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like you said, I was very impressed with this. I really thought that. At first, I was a little bit about it,
Right,
but
right.
I really
I came around to it for sure by the end of the match.
yes,
I was
that's
impressed.
what I was thinking of. I came around to it, and I really thought that it kind of held up with the men's
For sure.
ladder match.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And again, they had the couple tables at the couple tables they pulled out that kind of fed into the end of the match. But
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
they didn't
Right.
overdo it with them. They didn't have 30 tables around the ring and stuff, you know. And
yeah. And by the way the match was going, I thought Chelsea Green was going to win too.
yeah. They made me believe for a second that she was actually going to win. Yeah. So, at one point, I actually thought that Zoe Stark was going to win because she did the same thing. She unhooked the latch and started to pull the briefcase off.
Yep.
And I said, "Oh, they're going to piss off," because people were pissed off that she got in and Dakota Kai didn't.
Right.
And I said, if they really give that briefcase to Zoe Stark right now, people are going to have a fucking meltdown.
And that was good selling by Zoe Stark too, when she was like undoing the briefcase and not just standing up on the ladder and like fumbling with it, like she couldn't get it off. Like she unlatched it and was trying. Like it was good. That like you got to do that. It made it more believable. It was great.
Yeah. Zoe Stark just, like I said, like you said, there was that one botch. Not really a botch. She just kind of missed her move, but overall, like she just overly impresses me, and all these women in this match overly impressed me for what they did. And I think Tiffany Stratton.
So good.
And I've been not a Tiffany Stratton fan this whole time.
Yeah.
But to see her take a lot of hard hits and a lot of hard spots and a lot of, like, she just really held her on. She's not just like that pretty face, whatever.
Exactly.
All of them, they kind of just showed like they can get down and dirty when they need to, you know.
They definitely all did too, you know. Very impressive. Yeah. It was great.
They draped the ladders, like they had 2 ladders set up, and then they draped the other ladders off the rope and tied into the ladder, and were hitting hard off that. Like Chelsea Green did like a modified on Prettier to Naomi.
Yeah, that was hard too.
Looked tough. Yeah, that looked tough. You know, it was the worst spot of the night, or not the worst, but I thought like the when Io Sky did that, like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a Falcon Arrow or whatever to Zoe Stark on that.
Yeah, they landed like awkwardly. Like I don't know if that's how they meant it to land, and then just the way that they hit the ladder too, and like it didn't really buckle the way I think they wanted it to. Like,
it looked like Zoe Stark was like head first. Like, oh God, dude.
Yeah.
And she just rolled out of the ring, and Io Sky was like
the way she like landed on her knees, Io Sky too, and like, it was crazy. Yeah.
If that was what was supposed to happen, and they were just selling it, like, amazing sell from those women, because I thought one of them was seriously fucking hurt after that. Like, really did.
Yeah. And then we get Chelsea Green climbing the ladder with nobody else around, looking like she's about to grab the briefcase. And then here, what time is it? Tiffy time, coming in, pushes that ladder over onto those perfectly set up tables on the outside. Chelsea Green frickin' smashes and obliterates and explodes the tables. Like, so good, so great. The way that she went through it too, and sold it so good. And then Tiffy gets up and grabs the briefcase, and it's Tiffy in the bank, baby. Yeah.
I think they showed the replay, and Chelsea like turned into the fall too. Like it was almost like the ladder wasn't set up right, and as she was falling, if you watch the replay, like she like turned to like take. It was like, I think she saved herself from seriously getting hurt. But Tiffany Stratton is now Tiffy in the bank.
Tiff in the bank. Yeah. Money in the Tiff in the bank. Yeah, congratulations.
Money in the Stratton.
Money in the stratosphere. Yeah.
It's the Trish Stratus and her had a little show off. I didn't think about that. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Look at that. Okay.
Oh, so I think they picked the right woman to win the match.
Yes,
for sure. Because we picked him, and then we picked her, and then the WWE picked her. Good job, Trips, for doing that, because it just makes so much sense. And everybody knew that Tiff is going to be a champion one day here soon, and she's just got that rocket, and she keeps getting better and better. And and same with the fans, like they're behind her too, even if she's kind of like arrogant and has that aura about her. Like, she's got it all. And to see her get down and dirty in a ladder match too, and take those bumps, very impressive.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I would much rather see Tiffany Stratton Bailey down the line than Bailey and Nia Jax again. So
yeah,
or well, whatever. So anyway, we have Tiffany Stratton as Miss Money in the Bank, and we'll have to wait to see what her thoughts are moving forward with the possible cash-in. So then we get to the main event of the night. We had what they were deeming the Bloodline Bedlam match.
Bedlam and the Bloodline.
I thought when they booked it as that, I thought it was going to be like a tornado tag, like hardcore rules match, like a Bloodline rules match.
Yeah.
Not just a straight up six-man
tag.
So.
Yeah.
It's a little bit disappointed with that, but we had Solo Sakoa with Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu with Tonga Loa in their corner against Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
Right.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So, this was Tonga Loa kind of got he got the bone, huh? Like,
yeah.
He's had like 1, maybe 2 matches since he's came in. Now he's just kind of just like a side character,
It's a lot of people. Yeah, I guess he was the odd man out. He was the 4th wheel, 3rd wheel, whatever.
Yeah, the 4th wheel sounds good. There was a tricycle.
Yeah. I mean, that's who I would have picked to be the odd man out.
Yeah.
In the end, as far as like, because I like Tama Tonga more. I think in the ring, like his personality more. Yeah. Somewhat. So, and then Jacob Fatu needed to be in it to kind of show off and debut his skills. And then, of course, we're going to get Solo moving further.
Well, I think
story.
And I think that they kind of need like a Tonga Loa type character, because Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu and even Solo is kind of like that vicious, like visceral characters.
Yeah.
And Tonga Loa's like that stoic, like
reserved,
quiet assassin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that quiet assassin that can't hit low blows right. And
yeah,
it's his first time hitting a dong, so don't fucking get mad at him for it. But yeah, so like I said, I thought this was gonna be more of a hardcore style match. It was just a standard 6-man tag, and
it wasn't bad. Like starting off, like they had some good spots, like a few hot tags here and there. The Bloodline was in control for the majority of the match, especially like the first part, I guess you could say. Frickin' Randy Orton went to hit that DDT, his special DDT on Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu no-sold it completely.
He's a monster, bro.
Yeah, he was impressive. Jacob Fatu, ow! The werewolf was definitely out last night at Money in the Bank because he was going off. Like,
it was a full moon, you think?
Yeah, it was a full moon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he for his first match in WWE, he put on a fucking massive showing.
Yeah,
like there was nothing there. Like even, and I feel like that Tonga's kind of been sort of lost in the sauce a little bit, but him feeding off from Jacob Fatu's kind of energy and like menacing, whatever, they were both kind of they were both
the way
really
they do their little
their
mannerisms and stuff. They're very animated too.
Complimentary. Yeah, they're very complimentary to each other, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, Kevin Owens like had some fire in this. Yeah. He really had a really good showing, and they kept teasing Cody getting tagged.
Right. And when Kevin Owens came out, he didn't, and he was in the ring for his entrance and waiting for everybody else. He didn't break eye contact with Jacob Fatu either.
Yeah,
it was cool to see afterwards. Yeah, and I thought Solo Sakoa did great too. And I'm kind of like, sometimes about him, but I thought he did great in the match too. Like the crowd was chanting "fuck you" Solo the whole time, and he was playing off of it well, being a great heel.
I mean, young Dominic.
Yeah, we need the DNA test. Where's Maury at? Like, come on. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
yeah. They all had a pretty good showing. All 6 of them. You know, Cody really wasn't in the ring as much as I thought he was. Like I said, they kept teasing a hot tag, and the crowd was. You felt like the crowd was just waiting. Like the crowd was just. They were like ready to explode when Cody got in the ring, and they kept teasing it and building it, which is a proper build to a hot tag. You know?
Right.
Cody Rhodes came in, and when he came in, he was fiery, bro. He was taking on the whole bloodline himself, as the champion should, you know.
Yeah,
and
it was all
he wasn't.
Yeah. And it was all good, like leading up to pretty much near the end of the match, right? Yeah. Jacob Fatu was going crazy. Then Kevin, KO, and Cody were getting their spots in too. And then we got the ref go down. And I'm like, fuck. We're going to get a new member. People thought Roman Reigns was going to show up. I was like, it's way too early for that. He ain't showing up. I thought we were going to get a new member of the Bloodline or something to kind of
me too.
Out even the odds.
Right.
So,
right.
But we didn't. And all the ref really ended up going down for was that colonoscopy fucking ball check bullshit of a nut shot.
The prostate exam.
We're going to call it Nutgate. Yeah.
Nutgate.
Yeah. Because Tonga Loa doesn't know where to find the nuts or anything, apparently. Yeah. On KO. Oh, horrible. But he got it the second time, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go over to AEW if you want to be part of the Annals of Agony. This is WWE. Tonga Loa. We don't fuck with that. So
yeah, it wasn't. He was looking for that dynamic dick, and he didn't find it. Yeah.
Props to Kevin Owens for not selling the first one, though. You know what I mean? Like
he just kind of moved back. They repositioned.
Really ruined it.
Okay, let me find it. Yeah. There's the sack.
Yeah. Owens isn't gonna sit right for a week, you know.
Yeah, he's got 2 nut shots, 2 nut shots. And shout out to KO too, going back to SmackDown with everything with his mother. And him going back to Montreal and Quebec and stuff like that. So prayers to his family and stuff that too. And props to him for showing up amid everything. Yeah. And Jey Uso also, and all the Bloodline for showing up amid their families stuff going on too.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's a lot of teases or predictions of Roman Reigns coming back, but if you follow the IWC and you're into the scuttlebutt, which, spoiler alert, Combat Jones, I'm coming for your title of the Scuttlebutt champion because I've been reading a little bit.
The gossip now. You're in the dirt sheets.
Yeah, a little bit in the dirt sheets, trying to make them clean again. But the Roman Reigns' father's funeral was yesterday.
Yeah,
so there, is Roman Reigns going to be at a PLE when they're having a funeral for his father? I was coming, come on. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't the right moment for it either way. Even if that wouldn't have happened with his family and his father, it still wouldn't have been the time for Roman to come back yet. They need to build the anticipation more. It'll make it even better when he does. And we did get the "We Want Roman" chance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
imagine when SummerSlam were at Solo versus Cody and somehow or another Solo gets disqualified. Here, ready for another Jestradamus prediction?
Okay.
When we'll finish the review, then I'll give my prediction afterwards. Okay. So anyway, so Yeah, I thought this was really good. Like you said, like they had the nut shot. They were outnumbered. Cody, KO, and Orton were outnumbered.
Yeah.
Cody ends up getting the Samoan spike, and the referee gets like the Samoan spike.
No, I'm not too crazy about the Samoan spike, and I just don't like how they just held Cody there for it to take the spike, and it just whatever. It plays into it's his move. It is what it is. At least it's a lot less moves and a lot more selling, so it makes sense in that department for the finisher, and it plays into that. But yeah, just the finish I thought was a little flat for that. But
yeah, I agree. It was kind of a flat finish.
Jacob Fatu throws in the ref to get the 3 count. For a second, I thought Cody might kick out and they might keep it going a little bit longer.
Do you think Tonga Loa gave Kevin Owens the Samoan spike?
That's true, and it was probably up his butthole too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We call this the fucking fudgicle. So I don't know, but yeah. So and
the Samoan
Solo Sakoa.
And all this
we're Samoan, we get laid.
And all this took place just because they had to take out the ref just to do all that. Like, did they really have to even take out the ref then? Like, there's so much turmoil and craziness going on this whole match on the outside and the table and like the announcer's table and all this other shit. Like, whatever though. They did what they did. Yeah.
It is what it is. The Bloodline needed a big win like we had thought, and they got the big win, and Solo got the pin on Cody, which pushes that narrative of a match moving forward.
Which was important. People aren't happy about that either, but it makes the most sense going forward with a story, and Solo and Cody, and Cody's, the biggest champion right now in WWE and biggest babyface, so he needs to get pinned by Solo, and everybody fucking hates Solo, and after Solo... At the end of Smackdown, they had that little video promo talking about Roman, right? Coming and getting the necklace and all that. So, makes sense. Got to do it.
Not everything is going to be WrestleMania. Like, we're not going to have payoffs for WrestleMania. If they don't plant the seeds and build these stories, we don't have the payoffs. So, everybody just be fucking patient a little bit here. Like, let's go for the fucking ride. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So... yeah, overall, I thought Money in the Bank was pretty good. I was gonna say, would I have done anything different? Probably not, because like I said, all my predictions were right. So I guess I wouldn't have done anything different. But I was okay with it. Like you said, the main event I thought fell a little flat. I think the crowd was a little bit spent too from the 2 big Money in the Bank matches and the Punk return.
Do you think they should have put the placement of the matches different, like the order? Or do you think no? You like the Bloodline match last like that?
Yeah,
I guess it seems more legitimate and credible for Solo to get that pin in that main event match against Cody, too.
Yeah, the Bloodline story is still the biggest story in WWE right now.
That's true. They could have put the match first, but then did the whole Punk thing last. Either way, it's. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not as big a deal as I really thought it was, and. It made sense putting it last. Yeah, it is the biggest story.
Because we're in agreement, right, that it's probably going to be Cody and Solo at SummerSlam.
Yeah, at this point,
right, and it's going to be Drew against Punk at SummerSlam, like penciled in.
Yeah,
and Cody and Solo is going to be for the title. Drew and Punk's just going to be a match.
Where's Seth fit into all that then too? Could it be a triple threat match with Seth, Drew, and Punk?
Yeah, that's interesting.
At some point, you think they're going to have a triple threat. I think so. It might not be SummerSlam. And then, SummerSlam, I don't know, man. It's like...
No, this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Right, for my prediction.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So we're... what was fucking... what's his face? Johnny Carson?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shout out to all our old listeners. So what I think is going to happen is it's going to be Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam. Obviously Cody's going to win.
Yeah.
The new Bloodline is going to come in and just start beating Cody down and beating him up, whatever.
Right.
And then while the beatdown's happening, everyone's looking towards the ramp. What's going to happen? You're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and he's going to come out on the ramp, and then Roman's gonna come out. Dun, 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 and he's gonna stand there, and then Jimmy and Jay are gonna walk out behind him.
Ooh.
And the three of them are gonna be reunited, walking down to the ring.
Yeah. Are they gonna go
and make
they gonna get into it, or is it just gonna be them? Well, they're gonna have to come save Cody at that point, right? Or
right.
Yeah.
I think it would mean the most and be the best if they all just came back together, reunited as the Bloodline.
Okay,
Like
at
not
one
like
time.
Roman.
Okay.
Yeah, not like Roman coming back and being like, "Oh my God, who I'm gonna have to help me?"
Okay.
Or Jimmy coming back on his own doesn't make sense to me because like Jimmy's just gonna get his.
He
ass
knows he
beat,
can't stand a chance. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
And then Paul can't come back yet until the end because he just got fucked up through the table.
Yeah.
So, and he's got to sell that. So we probably won't see him till it's time either. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that would just be like everybody hearing Paul Heyman's voice there, everybody be like, "Oh, here comes this. It's time."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good prediction.
Like,
yeah,
it is time.
Good prediction. I'm just gonna let you handle all the predictions from here on out.
No, because if I'm wrong, I don't want to be wrong.
It's all your fault. Yeah. It should have been me.
Oh well, with all these predictions, I'm usually always right. So I always know what's gonna happen.
I seen it coming. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was our Money in the Bank, our special episode. We wanted to make sure we got on here and reviewed it, so that way we got it out to you guys.
And the post show.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments and all that, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that. Let us know what you think about what happened in the post show, also, because you had Drew McIntyre coming in and freaking pissed off as hell, coming into the post show commentary team and pushing Wade Barrett, and Adam Pearce came out and got elbowed, I think, in the face, and Wade Barrett wasn't happy. He's a fucking CM Punk hater too. Wade Barrett freaking hates he's got I guess old issues with both of those guys, apparently.
Well, what he said to Drew was he was trying to talk sense into Drew.
Okay, yeah.
Because he said if you hit him again, you'll never get a shot again. Like, you need to be smart about this. Like, he kept telling Drew, like, don't be stupid. If you hit Adam again, like, you're never going to get a shot at the title again. You need to be smart about this. Like, he was trying to talk some sense into Drew.
Yeah. It was heated, though. It was good. Good press conference. Got John Cena coming out, answered all the questions about his retirement and his farewell tour, which was very cool. He was very funny and very humble again. We had Tiffy Time come out and talk about her winning Money in the Bank. We had CM Punk come out eating his donuts and his muffins again, like as he's famously known for, talking some shit, answering some good questions. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Like I said, planting the seeds moving forward.
People thought AJ Lee was going to show up. I don't know why it was such a big thing. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if it did, I guess, with the whole bracelet and Larry and stuff like that. But like somebody said, people thought AJ Lee was going to show up, and she's out on a Chicago sidewalk walking Larry when all this is probably happening. So shout out to Larry.
Right. AJ Lee's going to fucking come
What's she going to do to Drew? Give him a nut shot? Right. Hopefully she finds her. Yeah, like I want to see AJ Lee beat up Drew McIntyre's wife when she's better, when she's better and healthy, of course. But you know,
right, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. We'll see more going forward with the bracelet, but I didn't see that happening. Yeah.
People get really like wild and outlandish with their predictions, and then get so butthurt when they don't fucking come true.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, I mean, Larry's gonna come out and bite Drew in the ankle and cost him the Money in the Bank. Then when it doesn't happen,
he's gonna climb
justice for Larry. Yeah. What the fuck?
He's gonna climb the ladder.
Get to see Larry.
Yeah, Larry needs to climb the ladder one paw at a time and bite Drew's ankle. Larry. Yeah, Punk. Somebody asked Punk during the press conference about AJ Lee coming back too. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to say it can happen or will or won't, but you got to ask her. Simple as that. So then we had Triple H at the end throwing a little shots too, right? Shots. He said it wasn't no shots. He was talking about pay-per-views being like 7 hours long. And he said, don't read into it, but we know what you was talking about, Trips.
Yeah, but he said he's been a part of pay-per-views that were that long, and he's like, I went on last, and like, God damn it, you know. But
true.
so
Yeah.
it is what it is. I think it's just playful little jabs.
Yeah.
Legitimately, like let's look at it legitimately. If you're an AEW fan, if you're a WWE fan, if you're any sort of fan of any wrestling, like AEW is not even on the same fucking planet as WWE is right
Is it
now.
even competition?
And that's okay.
Yeah, like
right, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But like,
you still enjoy it, but most of the time.
It's not like they're being cutthroat right now, like WCW and WWF were back in the day, or like NWA and AWA were back in the day.
Yeah.
Or WWF when they tried to break the territories back in the 80s with, you know, VK Jr., VMK Jr., Vince McMahon Jr.
Yeah.
You know, it is what
they
it
don't
is.
need to
it's
do
not,
that. Yeah, it's not at that point at all.
So yeah, like I said, that was our special review for Money in the Bank. Let us know what you think in the comments. Keep up with us. We're really enjoying the support and feedback, like we've always mentioned, and we're looking forward to hear from all of you guys. You know?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for riding along. And that was Pretty Deadly Jesse, aka Jestradamus. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Combat Jones. Yeah.
Never shooting blanks.
Never that. Yeah. And that was our review for Money in the Bank. So stay tuned for more after this. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.